What do you want to say, Kevin?
Have some fun with it.
Have some fun with it?
Yeah.
In your new Supra?
My new Supra.
Is a Supra next? Supra next? Supra, you gonna buy Vinny's?
Oh no, not Vinny's, the black one.
We're doing a straight trade, right? You give me cash on your end, you get to keep the Prius, I get this.
Yes.
I didn't know you got a Supra. Oh.
Yeah, it's getting out of its sucks.
Oh, what up, dude?
Not much, dude.
Let's go.
Enigma Production.
How you doing, bud?
This is awesome. I love my life.
Are you cold?
Well, there's a bunch of snow in my shoe, and I don't like it. I'm Mexican.
You guys better appreciate this. It's like 15 degrees out. You know what, Lucian? I don't have snow in my shoes.
Oh!
All right, guys, welcome back to another video. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and we are finally in a TRD Camry, 2020 Camry TRD. We got Lucian with us again today. He helped us film some of those fancy shots, so you guys better like this video because, like, right now, seriously, pause the video, go down and like it, and subscribe to the channel because we just froze our asses off to get some of that B-roll, didn't we? Well,
I got a lot of snow in my shoes.
Lucian got a lot of snow in his shoes. I sat in the car most of the time because I don't do fancy. Like, I'm not good at it. So anyway, TRD Camry. I've been wanting to drive this for a while, and my hope is that this is Toyota's reintroduction into doing fun cars on their own again, because it's been a long time. I mean, you had back in the day the Supra, the MR2, the Celica All-Track. There were a lot of fun cars that were genuinely sporty cars, and they were fun to drive. And Toyota in recent years, just, you know, basically the last 2 decades, hasn't done anything like that at all. I mean, and then recently, you know, the BRZ 86, whatever you want to call it, that came back out, and it's a fun car. I mean, it is a great car, but underpowered for one, and two, they were in bed with Subaru. At least with the development of the Supra, they were able to get their hands in there and diagnose the engine themselves, and then after they got to a certain point, Toyota did all their own tuning. That is why you see the Supra, the MK5 Supra, kick a lot of butt when you compare it to the Z4. It's a lot faster. So people say it's the same car. I don't think it's the same car at all. And I was fortunate, me and Lucian actually were fortunate to get to drive that Supra, and it was amazing, wasn't it?
It was. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It was absolutely nuts. So with the TRD Camry, I mean, why a Camry? You know, in recent years, you could get a Camry that was decently quick. The 2GR, even the original 2GR without the direct injection, the 2GR FE, not the FKS, that engine you could get put out about 280 horsepower back in 2007. So you could get a quick Camry, but it still really wasn't a sporty Camry. And the Camry has never been like that. The Camry is about as exciting as the person in the party that likes to watch golf on TV and collect stamps. I mean, it's just not an exciting car. You know, if you wanted a sporty sedan, you never looked at the Camry. Reliability, yes. I mean, you get a Camry, it's gonna last forever. The problem is the sporty cars that you have for options, be it a V6 Accord, be it a Nissan Maxima, those cars were also reliable. So if you wanted a sporty car that felt sporty, that you just feel it, you feel sportiness in the car, you didn't pick a Camry, you picked an Accord V6 or a Nissan Maxima. So is this Camry, is this specific Camry going to be the one to change that? Well, that's what I want to find out. All right, so TRD Camry, again, you know, I'm hopeful that this means that Toyota's going to start doing fun things on their own again. I did drive the new Corolla hatchback, the XSE, with a 6-speed manual transmission, and it looks cool, and I had high hopes, but it really wasn't that fun. I mean, it just wasn't that entertaining. 160-some horsepower, just kind of lackluster in today's world. Because when you think back to 2002, Corolla had something called the XRS. That had the Lotus engine in it without a supercharger or anything, of course, but that had like 178 horsepower. So you fast forward 17 years and you get a car with less power that's heavier. It was just kind of disappointing. And now we find out that we're probably not going to get the new Yaris GR, which is all-wheel drive turbo 3-cylinder, about 250 horsepower, and only available in a 6-speed manual. We're not getting that. There's rumors from Toyota that that drivetrain might make it to the States in a different car, and I pray to God, for what I've seen, they said either the CHR or the Corolla hatch. I pray to God it is the Corolla hatch, because the CHR is an absolutely ugly, horrible car in my opinion. I hate it, and so I wouldn't want to see it in like a weird crossover SUV type thing. So let's pray that they put that drivetrain in the new hatch Corolla. We're heading out to my favorite spot, the spot I like to take all the cars that I review, and we're going to see how this Camry TRD does. So what is different about the TRD Camry besides the boy racer looks and the questionable wing? I still don't know how I feel about that. Well, disappointingly enough, it is still the stock engine and the stock programming. So that's not all bad though. The stock engine, this 2GR FKS 3.5 V6, puts out 301 horsepower. So that is not bad at all for a sporty car, especially a sports sedan. You know, it's not a dedicated sports car. So I think that's enough power. I am really curious to see how these paddle shifts feel. I really hope that some of the technology from the new Supra trickled down a little bit and that these are more responsive than the paddle shifts in the other Toyotas, because those are less than desirable. They're not fun at all. It's like you shift it and then 10 seconds later the car catches up. So I have high hopes for that. Other than the looks though, this car differs. It has bigger sway bars, bigger wheels, it has different shocks, and it also has a different exhaust. So again, no motor work, minor suspension work done to it. So it should handle a little better with the bigger wheels, different sway bars, and brakes. You're obviously going to be able to stop better. It also has some summer tires on it. So I hope that this thing delivers. We'll find out here in just a second when we get on the road. All right, so we're turning onto my favorite road here, which is a little twisty, a little banked, a little curvy. Got it in one. We're gonna test out these paddle shifts. Oh yeah, way more responsive than the other stuff. You can hear that, it's pretty quick. Third, going around the corner. And it's like pretty much glued. We're going 80 miles an hour through a corner here, downshift into fourth. Yeah, this thing feels good. Let's try third. Wow. No body roll, and this thing is really quiet, so you really can't tell how fast you're going. I can hear my shifts. Obviously the exhaust sounds good, could be a little louder. It's not real droney or anything though, which is great. And that was kind of an S curve we just did in that road. I'll see if we can get you a shot of that here, but it did handle it really well. There was no body roll at all, and we were going 80 miles an hour through that curve, which is absolutely incredible for a front-wheel drive family car. I mean, so far, I think this is great. I can tell the ride is stiff, though. I mean, if you're looking for a comfortable car to drive, go buy an Avalon. Don't buy this, because you can feel all the bumps in the road, which is good, because that means that Toyota did their job. They made this thing feel sportier than the next sportiest Camry, which is the XSE. This thing is a lot stiffer than that XSE feels. Granted, I haven't taken an XSE on this road, but I think that you would find that there's a lot more body roll in that car. Even the stock sway bars and suspension and the smaller wheels, you're gonna have a little bit bigger sidewall on that tire, and it's not gonna feel quite as tight. This thing feels great. And like I said, it can kind of get away from you because it's a sporty sedan, so it doesn't feel like a dedicated sports car. So there is that quietness and that little bit of disconnect, so you don't necessarily know how fast you're going because it's quiet. It's not super raw, but it's definitely fun. 300 horsepower. This one does have a tuner in it. Kevin, who is the owner of this car, said the name brand is a JDM tuner, right? And the tune he's got on it now is supposed to be good for 340 horsepower, which is more than enough to have fun. This car does weigh around 3,500 pounds, so it's not a super light car, but again, we're talking about a full-size sedan here, so nothing that I'm really disappointed about. So we just dropped off Lucian at a point in the road where we can get a flyby shot, which means I get to take my favorite section of this road again, the S-curve, and maybe see if we notice anything different than we did the first time. So I have to turn around here and get ready for him. Okay. I think you said we're good to go. I can't see him. I'm about 200 yards out. So we'll go back into one. Yeah, this thing is really flat. It is very, very confidence inspiring. There's like no torque steer at all. Crazy. Toyota did it, you guys. They made a fun Camry, and that's something I never thought I'd say. Wow. Paddles are actually really responsive.
Hello, I've made it back.
You want to kind of lean so you're not cut out.
Is that good?
I don't think you have to lean that much. All right, guys. So overall, I think Toyota did it. I think they made a Camry that's entertaining. I think they made a Camry that's fun. Again, you're not getting into one of these thinking that you're getting a completely dedicated sports car. So I think that's a good thing because it made me more excited about what we actually got. You know, if this was, let's say this was a coupe, it was rear-wheel drive, but it's not. You know, it's a Camry, and that being known, I think they did an awesome job of making something that is just a little bit more fun. Like I said, you get a Nissan Maxima, a Honda Accord with a V6. Those cars feel sporty and fun, and I think this has finally achieved that. I think Camry finally got there. And then, yeah, they added a little bit of boy racer flair to it, but aside from the wing, I like everything else that they did. Even the red seatbelt. I mean, it's not terrible. So,
Kind of a cool touch.
yeah, so it's a very nice place to be. It sounds good. Like I said, it is pretty quiet, so it can get away from you. You can be going 100 and not really know it because the car feels so good. That S-turn that we took back there, that absolutely amazed me. The speed of the paddle shifts was the thing that I was probably most worried about, because anytime that I personally get in a quote-unquote sporty car, I want to have some level of control of that car. And being that there isn't a manual transmission, I was like, God, please at least make the paddles good. And they did. I mean, it's not on par with the Supra. The Supra's like almost instant, but I do think some of that trickled down, and they were like, hey, we can actually do this. It's not like the paddle shift that they've had before in some of the lesser models where it takes, you know, I could grow a beard and shave it off and then it would shift after I click the paddle. This isn't like that. This thing actually shifts pretty damn close to when you pull the trigger. So I'm very impressed with the shift points. I'm very impressed with the handling. And it looks good. I mean, the car it's a beautiful looking car for a Camry. So I think Toyota did a good job. What do you think?
There was a couple of things that I wanted to touch base on. One of the things is that I was looking forward to this just because I was going into this blind. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what was going to happen with it. But when we got into it, I mean, continuously, I was surprised. This thing handles way better than I thought it was. I thought there would be a lot more body roll. I thought it would handle like my grandma's old Buick. It'd be a lot of going around. But I mean, if I had to compare it to something, it's kind of like the Supra. It reminded me, it's like the light beer of the Supra, if that makes sense or anything like that.
If the Supra's a gin and tonic, this is like Corona.
A Corona, yeah. Yeah, not the Corona Extra, but just a regular Corona. Those are good, by the way.
Okay.
But I mean, overall, it's good. The exhaust sounds good. The shift points are really impressive. I mean, you did touch base on pretty much everything I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
One thing that is cool is it does come with an econ mode if you want to do a bunch of city driving, save a bunch of gas mileage, or just a normal day.
Or if you're a bitch.
Maybe sometimes I like to not drive like I'm in race car, okay? It does have a sport mode, which is a nice feature to have as well. And I mean, other than that, you got all the amenities of just having an everyday car here, which is cool.
And you know, two other things I was thinking about that I haven't mentioned yet is one, there really isn't any torque steer. Like, I mean, obviously it's not my car, so I'm not like complete redlining the thing from a dead stop, but there's very minimal torque steer that I can feel. It's very balanced. It feels really, really good, really dialed in. It doesn't feel like they just took a sticker package and put it on this car. It feels like, compared to the XSE, which has the same engine in it, same power, that this feels like a different car, and that's what I was hoping for. The other thing is, on a lot of cars, the sport mode, you push the sport mode button and it does nothing. One thing that I loved about my mom's 13 Accord, she had an Accord Sport with the V6 in it, 290-ish horsepower. You push the sport mode in that thing and you could tell a distinct difference in the shift points, in how long it stayed, you know, how long it stayed in gear. I mean, that VTEC V6 just came to life when you had it in sport mode. A lot of cars, you push it and it's just like a novelty, like nothing happens at all. My 98 Camry, that thing had a power button and like I'd push it and be like, where's the power? Nothing happened. This thing, there's a distinct difference from driving around in economy mode, which I really appreciate because they're not just ripping us off with some knockoff sticker package TRD car. It's actually better. And I don't know, I really appreciate that about this. Like I said, this is a car that I wanted to drive for a really long time, and I want to give big thanks / shout out to my buddy Kevin for allowing us to drive this car today. Big thanks to Lucian, repping the block. Go follow him on Instagram. He got us that killer B-roll earlier on, and it's just fun to not do these always by myself. So you guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that bell button so you're notified every time you update a video when you subscribe. Also, 500 subscribers, we're getting very close. We are giving you another tool. Like this video, the YouTube algorithm really enjoys it when you do that. Make sure you do it, guys, because you don't want to miss out on any similar car-related content, the twin supercharged box body build, or anything else that we find interesting. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Like I knew somebody could tell it cloudy at a poison ivy. If I'm like a strong with a cosign me, I don't even like me. No, I'm staring in the mirror indifferent. Who is this nigga?